welcome back to another episode, or I should say unplanned episode of Cheapskate Nation. I've learned today that I shouldn't drive a vehicle on a Friday. My passenger side caliper got stuck again. Coming home, I thought I freed it up. Apparently not. So we're going to go do some more investigating, and we're going to take some more time, and I'm going to try to document everything that I find for you, all my other fellow Volt owners. So this time, it happened a little closer to home. I was about 6 miles from home, and I could start to kind of feel the steering wheel shake a little bit. I was like, oh god, a flat tire. Because that's exactly what it represented, or resembled. But it wasn't. It was the caliper, and I put my hand down right there by the hub of the passenger side tire. Sure enough, it was hot. So let's get the lights turned on inside the shop and see what's going on with it while it's still hot. Just to show you how hot these things can get, I'm going to aim it right there at the center of the hub. That's 155 right now. Now the car's been sitting for about 15 minutes. I've been letting that cool down. Maybe it's a little hotter than I think it is. Let's shoot it at the rotor. Oh shoot, 170 degrees now. Let's go over and compare it to the other side. And that's 95. So that was 60, 70 degrees hotter. So clearly this wheel has the problem. When I put everything back together the first time, I just exercised it. I didn't put any extra grease or anything else on it. I'm thinking maybe some high temp anti-seize might be the ticket to solve this, but this time I'm going to investigate the pads a little bit better. Make sure there's no galling marks on the pads where they're getting stuck in the caliper clips or whatnot. I really don't think it's a problem in the hydraulic system because it seems like if it would happen to both sides. But we're going to also pop the hood again, and we're going to look at the routing of the brake lines and see if it's like each individual one. Well, I guess it might be if it has traction control issues, so who knows. Okay, so I got the wheel off of it now. Obviously it's not seized at the moment, so I'm just looking at stuff and I'm thinking maybe like some anti-seize in there, down here, on both sides. You know, I think maybe just pull it apart. I wish it was kind of seized. One thing that you can do if it's still seized and it's the hydraulic side, or to see if it's the mechanical side or the hydraulic side of the brake caliper, is you can, while it's still seized, crack the bleeder open. Just crack it briefly, just open it and then close it, and then try to turn the hub and see what happens. If you can, if that fixes everything, then it's the hydraulic system side of the brakes. It's not the mechanical side of the brakes. So that means you're probably better off taking it to a shop. It could be something with your brake lines. It could be your master cylinder. It could just be your caliper too. But right now I think it's kind of something in the brakes because it's not super stuck. It's just kind of sticking, if that makes sense. So as I just pulled the outside rotor off, one thing that I'm noticing is little rust spots in here. And here we're going to go ahead and see if we can't pop. The brake is still extremely hot. That's the back side. Separate that. Let's take a look in there. Can we get it in focus on the camera? Come on, Jimmy. Yeah, there's rust right there. That's that spring tab right there. And I bet there's some on the top side. Let's see, can we see it? Yep, we can. So now, right now, I'm kind of more inclined to think that rust it's in there and it's causing more buildup, and it's not allowing any room for it to slide back and forth. It's just not allowing it to release like it should. So I think pulling those tabs out, cleaning them up with a little bit of Scotch-Brite, and giving them a little bit of grease on them probably help keep them from rusting any further, and it'll probably be just fine afterwards. Now, I don't know everything that there is to know about brakes, but this is the what they call like an anti-rattle bracket, and you can kind of see like the brake pads diving inward, but then it's like getting locked, and this is the bottom side, so you got to think rotations like that, it's coming down, and the brake pad's getting shoved into this side, and then it's causing it to shove and seize and then not release. So I think this is where it needs to grease the most. I'm going to go ahead and shine it up a little bit like this one with some 500 grit sandpaper. And then I'm going to add some, where did it go? Some of this high temp lubrication. Just a little bit, not a lot. And it'll probably never have a problem again. So I got this thing going back together. Down in here, I've added a little bit of that black anti-seize here, and then again on the other side on the pad. I put it on both surfaces. I put it on this surface and I also put it on the pad. You can see it there. So I'm going to go ahead and try to put this back in without getting anti-seize all over the camera. So here's my caliper pins, and this could be another issue that I have. I got my pads back in there, everything lubricated. I want you to know right now, this one has a bushing in it, and this one is solid. The one with the bushing goes at the top of the rotor or on the leading edge. So the leading edge, the rotor generally spins like that, so it's got to go up here in this one, not that one. The solid shaft pin goes down here in the bottom. Now, I didn't really pay attention when I pulled them out. They were so covered in grease and stuff, but once I cleaned them up a little bit, I realized one was solid and one had a bushing. I know in certain makes they're both solid, but in this one it's different, so I'm going to go ahead and put them back correctly. That could be also the issue that I was having too, so I'm feeling a lot more confident that this thing might actually last a couple months now. I don't know. I was reading reviews. I joined the Facebook forums and or groups, and I was reading about it. It's a fairly common problem on this car, so let's see how long it lasts. None of the others are doing it, so maybe somebody had this off at one point before me, and they put the pins in backwards. It's possible. So now that I got the little clips in there, I want to show you guys something. Hopefully I can film it good enough. But both pads want to move back and forth when I do this. Meaning these spring retainers are actually doing something, doing their job. And that might be all they're supposed to do. But before, this inside one definitely wasn't, and just this outside one was barely popping out. So that concludes this video. I hope I don't have to make a part 3 on this. I'm going to go back and change the first video to part 1. I just want it to be a 2-part video because I'm embarrassed. Actually, the first time that I did this and I pulled everything apart, I was in a rush. Other people were here. Huge distractions. But I'm hoping that this is the fix. As always, thanks for watching. Thanks for liking. And thank you for subscribing. I'm, what, 54 away right now from being at 1,000, which that'd be a huge milestone for me. So if you could do me a favor, go ahead and click that subscribe button. Be appreciated. We'll catch you next episode. I got a good one coming up for small block Chevys. You won't want to miss it.